Hey everybody, it's Joel, and I'm coming to you from the car, obviously. And normally when a white guy in a baseball cap makes a video from inside his car to put on YouTube, he's usually about to say a few things about immigrants. This isn't that kind of video. I want to talk to you just briefly about AI. And to talk about AI, I want to briefly explain to you about a guy named Marshall McLuhan, Canadian writer. And he posited an idea that I think has held up, which is that whenever a new media form emerges, it goes through stages. And the first stage is that it emulates the media that we already know. So for instance, when the radio became a thing, it mostly consisted of people getting on the air and reading news stories, like reading the newspaper, because that's what we knew. And over time, they were kind of like, hey, we could play music on this. And they started doing that. Or we could have radio plays and we could do all sorts of stuff. And that's what they started doing. And it really established itself that way. And so even though radio came out at a certain time, it didn't really become radio as we know it till later. TV was a lot the same. When TV came out, what they did is they mostly just took radio plays and put them on TV. So they basically did what they were doing on the radio, but they just like aimed a camera at somebody. So over time, they were kind of like, we could do stuff, that maybe you can't do on radio. And they did. And so even though TV came out at a certain time, it didn't really become TV as we know it for a while. When the internet was kind of becoming a thing, and when I say a thing, I mean like people were starting to talk about it. It was starting to become something that, it was starting to become something that you would have in your home. When that started, one of the most interesting things was that they kept trying to make TV shows for the web, right? So what would happen is you would have like weekly installments of like a 10-minute episode of a TV show that you would download with Real Player, which is to say you would basically stare at your screen while it buffered for 15 minutes. But that was kind of what they were doing, is they were emulating what we already knew. And over time, obviously, the web has become something that TV never could be. And so points to McLuhan. But AI is an interesting thing, because I was looking a little bit at all sorts of AI, ChatGPT, but also like Apple Intelligence. And that one really interested me, because I thought ChatGPT is a very narrow sort of consumer experience. Only certain kinds of things happen on ChatGPT. And I was thinking, like, what's Apple going to do? So far, not much. And that's because in the true McLuhan prophecy about these things is that it's mostly trying to make you do stuff you were already doing. Can I fix that grammar for you? Can I draw a picture of something for you? Can I rewrite this email so that you sound more professional? It's stuff that, like, it's borrowing from like Clippy and Siri and things that we already had. Maybe not doing them in exactly the same way, but really the same as like the web trying to do TV, right? Where you have like episodic content that comes out every week, and it's this long, and there's advertisers, and it's like appointment television, all that stuff. Well, that's definitely in the past, and I think the way that AI is right now is going to be a thing of the past as well. I think we're just getting started. The capacity is there, as it was with radio, TV, and the web, but we haven't really figured out what AI is going to do yet. And I'm glad, because for the most part, the stuff that AI is doing right now is kind of stupid, to be honest with you. As a musician, I am interested in where it's going, because even though it is actually really hard sometimes to predict where a technology is going to go, I kind of want to see what it becomes when it's finally the thing it's supposed to be.